Okay, legends, welcome back to the channel with another Overlord Lord of Nazarick video. Now, in this video, it will be special because right now I have a new favorite character in this game. I didn't expect that she would be that good, which is the new character that came as an uprated character, as an SR character into the game with Yelda Bay of Banner, which is Tia. I love her so much. She has a great potential. I did test her at level 1. You're not gonna believe me until you see it. We're gonna do it in the end of the game or in the end of the video, and I will show you how she goes. Absolutely magnificent unit. She's a ranger. She's an emerald faction. She came here with his banner, so we're gonna check her out. She's Tia. She has Tina as well, but Tina is not yet into the game. When we have her, I'm gonna go and talk about her as well. Tia, Emerald, Ranger, it means crit rate, crit damage. This is what we want to think. Always, when you see a Ranger, it means they have high attack, they have high crit rate, and high crit damage. So basically, her normal stats, if you want to go and check, her HP, defense, and magical defense are not good. It's bad, but she needs a little bit of protection. I'm going to tell you the best lineup for her. She has one of the highest attacks as an SR character, which is really good. Her speed is mediocre. It's normal, the average speed. If you max it out, 176, it means she's not one of the slowest. She's not one of the fastest. She's a normal character. You can build her a little bit on speed, but I would highly recommend not to do that. You don't care about the speed. You care about everything else except the speed. So, first of all, she's a character that is playing around crit rate, crit damage, and stealth. It means stealth. She increases her damages when she goes out of stealth. You can play any kind of, and I will show you the arc lights that you can play. You can play any kind of arc light that has crit rate. Basically, she has crit rate on her own by 20%. And she goes with her passive up to 20% if you upgrade it. That's a 40%. If you play any set that gives crit rate like Vert Mari or Termination, that's a 55% crit rate right off the bat, before you do any enchantments, before you put any awaken, before you do anything as substats for her gears. Now let's talk about her passive, and this is why I want to explain something. So she's a ninja faction that we have only Tia and Tina so far. Tina is not yet into the game. When we have her, we're going to talk about her, and her clones are also counted as ninja, of course, because she's gonna summon a clone, and this clone is not like gonna attack at a turn, but it will add additional damage, 50% of what she does. We'll be talking about it when we get to her ultimate, which she summons actually that. So she has she hits a single target with everything that she has. She plays around countering shields and giving shields or stealing shields, giving it to the highest attacker on your lineup. So gains a 50% fixed chance to enter. Fixed chance, it means you cannot use EP to increase that or use ER to counter that. She plays around it with a it's a flip coin, fixed chance, okay? To enter stealth state after each round. What does stealth do? Above that, grants untargetable and reduced damage taken by 20%. Taking any damage will break stealth. So basically, she goes into stealth. You can't target her with single targets. Now, if you did AoE or any leader skill that is AoE, she goes out of stealth, but she will take less damage when she takes the damages. And when she's out of stealth, this is no longer there, so no longer 20% mitigation. So you can think about it as we can play her with other units that will give damage mitigation as well, and she will not take a lot of damage. So this is countering true physical and magical damage because it's any damage taken, which is great. Now, she increases her crit rate by 10%, which gets her to 30. Now, if you upgrade it to level 4, it gets to 20% crit rate. And this is what I'm talking about. Basically, you're going to upgrade her passive to get the 40%. And with any set, you're going to get her to 55%, which is absolutely nice. Each ninja present is increasing her crit damage by 10%. So basically, her shadow clone will increase her crit damage by 10%. And she's a ninja, so that's another 10%, that's 20%, including herself, by the way. So it's not only 10%, it's 20%. When we have Tina, that's 30%, which is great. Increases damage dealt to targets with shields by 15%. So any target that has shield, she increases the damages by 15% to them. Now, before she does this damage, she steals the shield and do the damage. So the damage goes directly into these characters that you are fighting. Increases crit rate and crit damage. Crit rate goes by 20, crit damage goes by 20 for every ninja. It means she has her own and her clone. That's a 40% crit rate. It means 60% here, plus the gear, that's 75%. Crit damage by 20, another 20, that's 40% on top of that. So it gets to the 200% on crit damage. And then you want to build her more on crit damage. You can build her on crit rate. You need a little bit of crit rate, and a lot of crit damage. So whenever she crits, and she will always crit, she absolutely does insane amount of damages. Now at level 5, increase the damage dealt by 20% if they they have shield. Now we're gonna be talking about how this affects your runs. She counters counter team and she plays on counter team. So you put her on a counter team and she's absolutely perfect with the counter team that has Brain, Yuri, and isekai. She's the missing part or the missing piece, the piece of the jigsaw. She's the one to be added on this lineup. Now, I know she's not speedy, but on a counter team, oh my god, she does a lot of damages. I couldn't believe it. We tested out against a similar team, which is the counter team, the meta teams that play any counters, any other character that is played on there, from Mare, from Albedo, from let's say Gazef, from Aura, from Momon. Momon was a little bit contending because Momon does a lot of damage when he goes into the second skill, but she absolutely wrecked them, and she was the one with the highest damages on that team. We'll be talking about that. She's incredibly toxic. One of my favorite characters, I'm not joking. It's up to you if you want to build it, check it, do it. But for me, I'm gonna build her absolutely when I get myself an isekai. Before I get isekai, I'm not gonna build her. She's an SR unit, so it's basically free. Her first skill, it's a single target, deals damage equal to 100% of attack, straight up goes to 120% of attack. It means increases her attack, deals more damage, and if she has the buffs of the ninja, stealth, whatever, she's gonna do a lot of damage. You build her on crit rate, crit damage, this attack will be absolutely insane. Now her second skill, which is one of my favorite skills. So, uses the ninja skill Flame Burst to attack a single enemy. But before she does the attack, I will tell you what happens. So deals damage equal to 110% of attack, increases the damage dealt with Flame Burst, which is the second skill, by 50% if the target is immobilized. So you play her on a stunning team. So actually you can play her with Zaryusu, you can play her with somebody like Yuri, somebody that does stuns like Demiurge. If you stun them, immobilize them, stun them, not silence, not taunt, only stun and freeze, you actually deal 50% extra damage. So it means 110 plus the 55%, which means you go to 165 or something like that, which is absolutely huge. Okay, so transfers. Okay, here we want to talk about this one. It's a 6-star. Okay, this is not at 4 or grants the basic shield. Okay, this is at 4-star, this is at 5-star. Well, let's read them. A grant 100% basic shield, basic chance to dispel 1 shield from the target before she does the burst. So if you get her to 4-star, this is absolutely huge. Imagine that you have a shield on somebody, you go and remove the shield, then hit them after that. So they put all of their effort to put shields. So this one counters shields massively and countered Mass Shaltir. If you don't have any solution for the big shields that Mass Shaltir is giving, Tia is your answer. She goes and absolutely remove the entire shield. Does not matter, it dispels them and absolutely bursts them out with damages. Plus, she's gonna deal more damages if they are stunned, if you get them to stun. Now, at 6-star, she transfers the remaining shield to the ally. She does not only remove the shield, she gets the shield and give it to an ally with the highest attack before she does that. And it capped at 500% of her attack. So you build her more on attack. So attack, crit rate, crit damage, this is what you want to build her on. And maybe damage reduction. Why damage reduction? Because you don't want her to die. You can't build her HP, build her on defense, magical defense, attack, damage boost, speed. If you don't want to build her on those 3, one replacement is for those 3, which is reduction to damage. You just give her reduction to damage, crit rate, crit damage, and attack, and that's all she needs, okay? So she increases her damages to 170% of her attack. They say his attack, I don't know why, but it's mistranslation. It's her attack, and increases crit rate by 30% and crit damage by 40% when using Flame Burst. It means we said that you're gonna go by 40% on her crit rate, which is 60 plus the set, which is 75, and you get here 30%. So you go above 100 with the crit rate, and you go above 200 with the crit damage, which will allow you to absolutely destroy and shred units with these skills. I love her kit is absolutely nice, especially that everything right now will give you shields. Renner gives shields, PDL gives shields, Knight Albedo gives shields, Mass Shaltir gives shields. Every character, almost everyone gives shields right now with the meta that we're going, Yuri, etc, etc. Especially if you're playing against a counter team that has Yuri on them, Yuri will give shields. It means you can go and counter that absolutely nice. If she's the highest attacker on your lineup, when she goes and dispel this shield and you have her at 6-star, she gains the shield to herself. So absolutely magnificent unit. Okay, let's read her ultimate, which is unbelievably beautiful. The Shadow Clone will add a lot of damages to her. So Tia uses the skill and creates a clone to herself for 3 rounds. Gains bonus action after using this skill. What do we mean? Like Zaryusu, you use his second skill, he continues his turn and use his skill after that. You can use his ultimate. For her, she uses her ultimate, she uses her second skill or first skill. After that, you don't lose your turn with anything. So the clone takes the same action as Tia. If you do the second skill, they do the second skill. If you do the first skill, they do the first skill, and deals damage equal to 50% that Tia dealt. Only one clone is allowed at once, so you can't spam this. Like you have Vertmari, you proc it, you get again another turn, or you use Pistonia, you get another turn. You cannot have another clone, but the clone does the ultimate with her, which means double buffs attack or double damage attack, which is great. I'll be talking about that. It's at 5 stars, so at 5 star, grants attack boost and damage boost to Tia after using Shadow Clone for 2 rounds. Not only just attack boost, but also damage boost. The 2 boosts that you want to buff your attacks, especially that you build her on crit rate and crit damage, it means your damages output will be insane because it's 30% on attack. Even if you get minus in attack, like if they do attack down on you, there's a damage boost. Unless you have attack down and damage down, then you're gonna be in a deficit, but she will make it up because she gets both of them. So 30% in attack, 30% in damage boost, absolutely beautiful. Now, when you upgrade her, it doesn't require any stars, purifies 2 debuffs from Tia before taking a skill. So let's say you start second, they didn't kill you, but they put a bunch of debuffs on you. She can use her ultimate to remove 2 debuffs from herself, and she'll be happy dandy. Now, if you upgrade the skills, this buff does not deal any damages, by the way. But if you upgrade it more and more, she will deals damage equal to 60% of the Tia's damage, and then by 70% of Tia's damage if you get it to level 4. So you can actually deal damage with the ultimate if you level it up, and it goes -1 on cooldown, which is for 2 rounds. Which is huge, actually. You can play it with Vertmari set. I love Vertmari set for its technical usage, but the best set for her is Termination because she reduces or she ignores 30% of the defenses. Let's read her arc light, okay? So Shadow Clone, her arc light, which is absolutely beautiful. It gives her crit damage, which is the most thing that you want because crit rate is easy to get. Crit damage is the highest multiplier in the game. So with the HP, of course, so crit rate, it gives you up to 20% when you put any set on her. So more crit damage, it means more damage output for you because you're gonna crit no matter what if you build her on crit rate. So her special exclusive EX effect, every 1 unit difference between allies and the enemy in battle increases Tia and her allies damage by 5%, which is a buff for your entire team. So if you killed a unit on their lineup and they have 3, you get a 5% damage and boost. Up to 20% clones are counted as our unit. So also if you have her clone, so when she does her ultimate, you get the 5% immediately. And this goes up to 10% to 40%. So 10% for every single character. So she's a great buffer for this. She's not selfish. She gives shields, she steals shields, negates shields, give them to the highest attacker, plus buff your entire lineup, which is absolutely nice, by 40%. It means she can do that over and over and goes until the end of the battle or until the units become less on your side. So when her shadow goes away, she loses 10% or the team loses 10%. When they kill a unit on your lineup and they're equal on the same level, they're also gonna they're gonna reduce the 10%. But imagine this, she uses her ultimate. She gives you 10% for your entire team, plus the attack buff and the damages, and if you have Mass Shelter or you have another buffer on your team, that's another buff for your attacks. It means you deal extra damages for everybody else. Now her general effect, each crit hit allows an active skill to deal extra damage equal to 16%, which is what counter, chase, and assist goes really, really nice. This is what I'm gonna talk about her, absolutely fine. Ridiculous unit, in my opinion, the best SR single target unit in the game right now. Better than Gagaram, better than Brain, better than any other single target unit or AoE unit as well, like Entoma and Solution. She's better than them. Maybe CZ deals higher multiplier, but she needs a lot of setup. This one goes and bursts immediately. Now, what sets are amazing for her? Let me show you from here, because here it's better so we can talk about her. Where is Tia? Here we go. She became level 2 because I tested her on a level that I will test with you and show you how it goes. Do I have her arc light? I didn't summon her arc light, right? Okay. By default, we don't have her arc light. Does this give us assist rate? I don't want assist rate. Crit damage maybe is good. Anything with crit rate. This one gives crit rate, assist rate, crit damage, crit rate. Okay, this one has crit rate, which is good, and fixed chance to trigger burn or whatever. Let's give her this one with crit damage so I can show you, or crit rate, because I want to go in. This is level 50 anyway. Yeah, let's keep this, it's level 50. So best sets on her. Let me go and show you what I mean by best sets. So we have the termination set. It gives you crit rate by 15%, which is huge, and nullifies 30% of the defense. This is the best set for her, and the game actually tells you that. Now you can play the Crimson set for more damages and more attack. You don't care about it because the extra damage does not crit, and she has high crit, so why waste your time on that? None of these sets, I would say, are really huge with her. Unless you're playing her on counter team, you can play her with a star set. She deals more attack, but you need the crit rate massively. So I would say Vert Mori is the next one to play on her, because with Vert Mori, you gain 15% crit rate, and you have a 40% chance to reset your skills. It means spamming your ultimate or your second skill. But 100% the best set for her is the termination set, not other than that. Now, of course, there's Arclights. There's a lot of Arclights that you can play. I want to just mention this Arclight because it's super good on her. Where's the Arclights? SSR Arclight. If you have it, you might play it on her. Picnic, yep, it has crit rate. So each crit hit allows active skill to deal extra damage equal to 16%. If you don't have her Arclight, this Arclight is huge. Now, you're not gonna buff your team. With her Arclight, you absolutely buff your team. So I would highly expect from everybody to go and build her on her Arclight. But if you don't have it, if you have this one built or max out, you increase your crit rate massively, because at maximum you get 15%, and each crit allows the active skill to deal extra damage by 32% of attack. This is a 32% buff on her attack for every single attack. Now let's go and check her out on an easy stage, okay? So level 5, I'm not gonna do it. It was super easy. Let's do level 6. And this is a level 2 Tia, okay? So this is what I'm playing. I'm playing with her Honyon Pinyoko as a captain leader and give her sheet so she doesn't wipe at the start. She's a level 2 right now. And we have the Arclight on her, no sets. So her crit rate is minimum. So what do we have her on crit rate? Let me check. So we have crit damage 166 and we have crit rate at 20%. Let's give her a set just to give her a crit rate, okay? Just to give her crit rate. I'm not gonna cheat. I'm just gonna upgrade her crit rate. Okay, we have these are really built. And it has crit rate here, but it boosts her attack. I don't want to boost her attack. I just want to give her sets that will give her crit rate only. So I'm gonna do equip. Let's do all so we can find anything that does not have any upgrading. So equip and equip. Only 3 set. I'll put only 3 pieces, okay? So 3 pieces. Yeah, let's put this one. So she has 3 pieces. It means she has 15% extra crit rate. We don't care about anything else. And her crit rate goes up to 35% right off the bat. With her crit damage, let's play her with Honyon Pinyoko and check what she does. Absolutely beautiful. I love her skills. She's crazy. This is a crazy unit. And we're playing against a boss. It means this should be hard at early stages with level 1 and level 2. So we're not gonna use the leader skill. I'm just gonna give shields and buff her. So she gets the buff, she gets the shield. We're getting attacked. It doesn't matter. We can kill these immediately. So I'm gonna do the Shadow Clone and buff herself. She's not gonna take the buffs because she's 4-star, but we have the Shadow Clone. The Shadow Clone will do exactly what we do. So we're gonna go and use the second skill to eliminate this one and absolutely killed it. You see the crits and the crit damage? You see the crits and the crit damage. She immediately gives crits and crit damage. Like, there's no other. Oh my god, this unit is absolutely ridiculous. Let's give her more shields. We're gonna keep spamming shields on her. We're not gonna do anything else. And when we have the ultimate, because she will take, I think she took a debuff here. Let me check if she took a debuff. Honyon Pinyoko took a debuff, which doesn't matter. We're gonna go and attack this one with a Shadow Clone. As you see, that's 15k. That's 16k damage. That's a character that's dealing 15k damage on her own, which is beautiful. Let's give another buff. Absolutely crazy. I just love her. And we're gonna get buff for ourselves as well. So maximum shields. We're not gonna get destroyed. You see the shields. Absolutely crazy. Let's see the damage. Can we one-shot? We absolutely one-shot. Oh my god. With termination set, ignoring 30% of defense. This is a level 2 unit. Imagine this on your lineup with PvP, going and shredding your enemies. Absolutely insane unit. This is her damages. She did what? 41k? She did 41k at level 2. Using sets that are not leveled up. I want to just make you understand that this unit is absolutely crazy. She's not a unit that, it's an SR, we can skip. Nah, she's brain level crazy, okay? Like brain. You put her with brain on the same lineup with Isekai and Yuri, or if you want any other support, but with Yuri because she gives shields and she gains shields and she will be protected on the lineup. Absolutely crazy. I would highly recommend, even if you don't have Yuri, play if you want Honyon Pinyoko on the team, or Masked Shaltir if you don't know who's Honyon Pinyoko. You play Masked Shaltir. She gives shields at the start of the battle, as you saw right now, and she can give her more shields and keep her surviving. And with Isekai passive, you can heal your entire team. You can counter with brain, and her counters, because she deals insane amount of damages, she's gonna wipe everybody on the lineup. And yeah, that was it for the video. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you like her, if you're gonna build her, if you use her, if you are using her and you're having success, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.